All right, so let's say you just launched a product on Amazon. Now what? Crickets? Okay, so my name's Kevin, and I am from maximizingecommerce.com. I help people build e-commerce businesses that they can be proud of. And in this particular video, I'm going to share a conversation I had with a friend of mine relatively recently. And she was launching a new product. It wasn't her first product, but she was kind of a little bit down because she'd only sold 5 units of it the first week and a half. And I put in perspective that I don't know that I've ever sold 5 the first week. I don't have these crazy launch strategies of like giving away tons of product. I kind of more of the lines of let the algorithm do its thing, especially if I'm putting in good keywords. I'm optimizing those keywords. I'm running pay-per-click. I'm optimizing my pay-per-click campaigns. I go after products on the front end that I know I can be competitive on. And I trust in the process. And I know my strategy is probably a lot different than people have, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. And I'm probably going to do more stuff as time goes on to launch products, but I take a slower approach. So we made a little bit of a joke, this friend of mine and I said, I referenced something back from the early 1990s. Now, I want you to think back to, if you're like me, and you can think about 1990, if 1990 is too early to remember, at least kind of gauge with me. You probably are going to know what I'm talking about here and can relate to this. But in fall of 1990 is what I want you to remember. And this fall of 1990 is going to have a correlation, so to speak, and have a meaning to what we're talking about here with selling products on Amazon. And it was a joke I referenced. So basically, just to share my screen here. So this stud you see here on the right is me in 1990. I think I was in 8th grade. That's my grandmother, who's no longer with us. But and then her dog at the time. And I think this is Lake Michigan. Looks like the ocean, but it's one of the Great Lakes. It's huge. But back in 1990, that's what I looked like in the fall of 1990. However, we're not here to talk about me in the fall of 1990. And even more bizarre as this may sound, I want you to think of Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey, and this is the joke we talked about with this friend of mine. She has a song called Love Takes Time. It was #1 sometime in the fall of 1990. I looked it up, at least according to Wikipedia. It was released in, I want to say September 11th, 1990, ominous day, but that was way before anything. September 11th was an ominous day. And, the song is about how love takes time. But I want you to remember this. The algorithm on Amazon takes time. Give it time. This is not a get-rich-quick thing. This is not something you just put it up there and suddenly you're a millionaire. Everyone who's been in this for a while knows that when you launch a product, it may take months. But you know what? We're in this, if you're like me, you're in this for the long game, not the short game where, yes, it can be frustrating. You want to see those results. You're excited. This is going to be a winner that you picked out, but just give it time and keep inching the ball forward, inching forward, making progress, optimizing your keywords, optimizing, maybe better images, test different pricing, do different things so that once Amazon starts seeing that there's sales, they're like, okay, let's try this out a little bit. So now all of a sudden PPC is going to be a little bit more favorable for you. Now all of a sudden Amazon might say, okay, someone bought for whatever keyword, let's say French press coffee maker. So let's try organically French press coffee maker because they bought it on a sponsored ad. So they start seeing like, okay, someone's actually buying it. So when they start seeing it's a little bit of a snowball effect. Sometimes it's hard because it feels like you're going uphill and it's like this little tiny snowball and you're pushing it. It's like you want the snowball to be this big, but it's only this big. And you keep pushing it. And too often people give up. They get frustrated. They say this isn't working. I heard that I can make $1 million. And 6 days, which is not true. Well, you could, but there's a whole other strategy around that, and you're going to have the money to make the money. But in general, if you're just getting started, start with where you're at. Don't worry about what you heard someone else did. Don't get frustrated because maybe you have a friend or you saw somebody post a screenshot in a forum. Just focus on where you're at and run your own race. This is a marathon, not a sprint. And especially if you're first starting out or your product is new and you're looking and you see this guy is selling 10 a day and I'm selling 10 the first 2 months. Don't worry about that. Just keep pushing, just keep pushing, just keep pushing. Trust in the philosophy, trust in yourself, trust in the research you did. Keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. And if you never get that snowball to the top, that start really getting the momentum going down the hill, then say, you know what did I learn here? Maybe there's something I could have done differently, but don't give up too quickly. So keep trying, keep pushing forward. Remember, love takes time. The love that the algorithm is going to give you, it takes time. Mariah Carey was right, even though she wasn't talking about Amazon. So hopefully you found this to be helpful. If you don't mind, leave a comment down below about what you found works when you're rolling out a product. And if you don't want to share the logistics, maybe share of a time that, there was a time that things didn't work out, but maybe they got better. So if you can provide hope for someone else, I guarantee you're putting a great deposit out there into the universe, so to speak. And if you are looking to get started and you're just nervous because you're afraid it's not going to work, put it out there. You know what? We've all been there. The doubts, the fears, the whatever, whether you haven't launched yet or you just launched and you've only sold 5 the first week and you want to just do more. We've all been there. We've all had these doubts creeping in our heads. So, leave a comment down below and let me know what your thoughts are. We're here to help one another. I'd love to be able to respond to as many of the comments as possible. And, if you see someone, they need a little bit of a reassurance or whatever the case is, put it out there too. So we want to try to help one another because, that's how we get better, is helping others. So hopefully you found this video to be helpful. If you don't mind, please leave a little thumbs up down below. And also, if you've not already, go ahead and subscribe to this channel and click the little notification bell so I can make sure to let you know, or YouTube will let you know, whenever we have more videos come available. So thank you for making it all the way to the end of this video, and maybe got a good laugh at what I look like in 8th grade. So thank you, and I wish you nothing but the best on your e-commerce journey. Take care.